I am fed up. I really am just fed up. All right, guys, let's get into it. COVID-19 is not the only pandemic we're dealing with, and I'll tell you why here just in a few minutes. But first of all, I just want to say hello to everybody. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'm getting this out there a little bit. Let me see if I
Speech on. Take stop recording video button.
Okay.
Speech off. Speech on.
right.
30 viewfinder. Image viewfinder. 40 stop recording video button.
Again, I apologize
Speech off.
for this thing talking here. I just want to make sure we're recording. All right, so here we go. Coronavirus, COVID-19, is not the only pandemic that we are dealing with here, folks. We're dealing with another pandemic. And, well, actually, we're dealing with two pandemics and one that ties into both of them. So let's get going with that. Let's talk about that. As you know, of course, the biggest pandemic of all right now is COVID-19. The second pandemic is gun violence and mass shootings. Day upon day, day on day, night on night, we hear in the news like 8 people, 10 people dead, so on and so forth. It's been skyrocketing since restrictions have been easing and so on and so forth in the States. And it needs to stop. When will it ever stop? It's not an epidemic. It's a pandemic, for God's sakes. You don't need an epidemiologist to tell you that the gun violence and mass shootings is an epidemic. You don't need an epidemiologist to tell you that it's a pandemic. We know it's a pandemic. It really is. We may as well just shut down for that like we shut down for the coronavirus. Clothing makers may as well start making bulletproof clothing, not just vests, but pants, vests, shirts, hats, coats, gloves, shoes, socks, anything. And we should start wearing those, and it would probably reduce the percentage of deaths that happen from shootings. So, yeah, if you think we may as well shut down, yeah, I'm up for it. I don't want to be up for it. I hate the shutdown. I hated the shutdown then. I was laid off from work with uncertainty last year. I don't want it to happen again, but if this keeps up, it may as well happen again. The next pandemic is police brutality. This is another pandemic that's on the rise. It's not an epidemic either. It is a pandemic. Look at what happened to Dante Wright, and look what happened to this little kid in Chicago who got shot by an officer, and he was unharmed. He was unarmed, and he was just a child. You got to be kidding me here. Do we have to shut down for that too? Is it a crime to be black in America? Sure as hell sounds like it is. And the last pandemic that ties into both of them is ignorance. So I have a lot of people to thank for that. Thank you to Donald Trump. Thank you to the National Rifle Association. Thank you to the Republicans, especially the Trump-worshiping Republicans in Congress who did nothing about the gun violence. And thank you to the racist police officers who are trigger happy to kill black people. This is why I'm very fed up, folks. And I don't have anything else to say here. I'm just flabbergasted of how ignorant people can get and how ignorant people are to this. It's got to stop. Bills got to be passed to get guns under control here. I would love to see us become another Australia to where there's no shootings there at all because they got tight gun laws there. You can look it up for yourself. So, yeah. With that being said, I'm going to conclude with this. We don't want to shut down again. We want this country to get over all of these pandemics and let's live some peaceful lives here. I know it's not going to happen in the real world, but we are running in a country, in a world that's lost its meaning. And like I said, I'll thank Donald Trump again for that. So, everybody, have a wonderful day. See you later.
Speech on. Stop recording video.